Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the pit in Quincy, Illinois. It's Quincy, Notre Dame hosting your Macomb High Bombers as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live. Presented by MDH, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Haley Roth on the camera tonight with me. And we are in the pit, and the place is filling up. And Kelly Sears has talked to me about this on numerous occasions. Nothing makes high school basketball better, especially at the 1A level, than having an awesome pep band. And we are right beside the Quincy Notre Dame pep band, and they are rocking the house here before the game as we are just a couple minutes away from what should be the national anthem and the starting lineups. The Bombers come in at 5-1 on the season. Sacred Heart Griffin gave the Raiders a loss last night in a pretty hefty fashion, so they will have, or at least feel like they have something to prove tonight, I would imagine, against the Macomb High Bombers, especially since the Bombers knocked the Raiders out of the IHSA Class 4A playoffs in football just a month or so ago. This game being brought to you tonight by Sports Corner at 124. Macomb's original local sports bar, Sports Corner at 124, with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. As we will get ready for the national anthem, I will give you fair warning. We cannot see the flag from here, so we will show the cheerleaders during the national anthem as we get ready to go for tonight's non-conference contest for the Macomb High Bombers. As we
in a moment of silence for the memory of beloved women, Sherry Leneskis. Thank you. At this time, let's hear the playing of tonight's national anthem.
Now that was a great rendition of the national anthem by the Quincy Notre Dame Pep Band. And now it's time for the starting lineups for tonight's contest. First for the Macomb High Bombers. Connor Watson, one of the starters tonight. Langdon Allen, old BT's getting the start again tonight. Nolan Kerr will get a start again tonight. Number 24, Jack Duncan, one of the starters tonight. And back in the starting lineup, 0, Ian Case. He had a foot injury against Geneseo. Good to see him back in the lineup. Now the starting lineup for Quincy Notre Dame. Jackson Stratton, you'll remember him from the football game a month or so ago. Jake Hoyts, number 3. Number 12, Charlie Lavery. Josh Bakke, number 20. Alex Knoyer, the other starter for the Raiders. And if you've never been here, the pit is a ton of fun. So we're excited to be here as Ian Case is going to jump it up with Josh Bakke to start things off here for tonight's varsity contest as we're looking to get underway. First quarter action for the non-conference battle between the Bombers and the Raiders. A great student section at the far side. You see in the background, and Bakke gets the jump. Knoyer comes down with it. It's going to come over to Stratton. Stratton looks down inside to Knoyer. It goes off his hand, out of bounds, and he didn't think it did, but the Bombers are going to get the basketball. Nolan Kerr against a 1-2-2 press here for the Raiders. Into Langdon Allen it goes, over to Kerr, down in the corner, Case. Case is going to drive right to the rack, and he gets blocked from behind. It was a block by Bakke, and it comes up the floor by Hoyt. Hoyt on the dribble now. Hoyt gives it to Knoyer. Knoyer up top to Hoyt again. Hoyt's going to drive. Kerr's on him. It goes to Lavery. Lavery now down to Bakke. Bakke around Duncan, and he throws, around Case, and he throws it away. Ian Case didn't get a swat, but he forced a turnover, and it's going to be Bombers basketball. Connor Watson's going to walk it up the floor for the Bombers. Nolan Kerr now with it. He's going to come near side to Langdon Allen. 7:10 remaining. As you can see, time is on the clock, or on the scoreboard tonight. Jack Duncan, the jumper off, no good. Stays with the Raiders. Pull-up jumper from about 8 feet off, no good for Lavery. Duncan with the rebound, and it goes back the other way. Student section is right underneath us for the Bombers. Langdon Allen, Ian Case, Nolan Kerr. And Nolan Kerr thought Langdon Allen was going to continue his route, but Langdon cut his route short, did an out instead of a fly pattern, so to speak, and it's going to be a turnover for the Bombers, and it'll go back to the Raiders. Comes down to Knoyer. Knoyer's pass tipped away by Duncan, but picked up by Stratton. Stratton goes over to Hoyt. Hoyt looks down low. Bakke, and he got hammered by Ian Case. Watson comes down with it, and no foul call as they're letting him play a little bit here early in this one as we approach the 6-minute mark of quarter number 1. Nolan Kerr is going to give it to Langdon Allen. Left side Duncan, who lost it but gathers it back up. Connor Watson now on the dribble. He gets around, and the floater is off, no good. It's tipped out. Picked up by Lavery. He's going to give it to Knoyer. Knoyer's going to drive on Allen. Turnaround, off, no good. Bakke with the rebound and the putback. Bakke gets the first 2 of the game. Watson across to Kerr. Kerr looked at the 3, didn't take it. Ian Case gives it to Connor Watson. Both teams methodical in the offense and turning the ball over early. Not a lot of points, just 2, and with probably more turnovers for both teams than they have points. Well, Duncan out to Watson, who nearly threw it away again, did Duncan. Watson gets trapped in the corner, gets it to Duncan. Duncan's going to dump it across to Case. Case gets the first 2 of the game for the Bombers on a pass from Jack Duncan, and Ian Case has 2 points. Out it comes to Stratton. Stratton's going to drive. Langdon Allen is there, and Langdon Allen's going to pick up the foul. Those two saw quite a bit of each other on the football field. Langdon Allen gets his first foul. Team's first. And Jackson Stratton's going to be shooting 2 for the Raiders. First free throws of the game for either team. Tied at 2. First one is good. Live chat's open. Hop in there. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. We'd love to see you in the live chat. Second free throw is good as well. Two points for Jackson Stratton. Duncan out to Kerr. Under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Down to Duncan. Duncan fade away from the baseline, off no good. Rebound to Hoyt. Hoyt dumps it out to Stratton for 3. It's way long. It's off, tipped around. Ian Case comes down with it, stolen away by Lavery. Lavery gives it to Bakke, or no, that's Canoyer. Canoyer has it knocked away 2 times. And Hoyt backs it back out and sets up the offense for the Raiders. 4:10 remaining. Hoyt going to try and drive on Case, and Ian Case reached around and grabbed body instead of ball, and is going to get called for the foul to be his first, team's second. 4:04 remaining. It'll be Raiders basketball. Into Bakke. Stratton, Hoyt, turnaround jumper from about 12 feet's good. Jake Hoyt gets the bucket. Nolan Kerr down to Duncan, skips it across to Watson. Watson on NBA 3, it's long. Rebound to Canoyer. He outlets it to Hoyt, and it comes back the other way. Hoyt now behind the back, loses it, going to go off of Nolan Kerr, out of bounds, possession to the Raiders. Aiden Klauser and number 15, Nolan Robb. Jake Hobson and JT Jeter checking in for the Bombers. A little size goes out for both teams. Klauser with it. Over to Canoyer. Canoyer wants to give it to Stratton, and Langdon Allen is playing that ball denial we saw him do on Illini West last week. Robb for 3 as he comes into the game. Duncan goes to get the rebound. He outlets it to Watson. Watson hesitation dribble, backs it back out now as he comes up top to Duncan. Duncan loses the ball. Robb with the steal. Langdon Allen's going to beat him down the floor, and he can't finish. Canoyer will finish, and Hobson's going to pick up the foul, though, as the ball would not fall through the hoop for Canoyer. Hobson will pick up his first, team third, and 2 foul shots coming for Alex Canoyer. The Raiders 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and they lead 6-2 here. 2 for Canoyer. First one is in and out, no good. It's Hobson, Jeter, Duncan, Watson, and Langdon Allen on the floor for the Bombers. It's Klauser, Stratton, and the second one's off, no good, but Klauser tracks down a long rebound. Canoyer looks underneath the Stratton. He can't finish. Hobson gets the rebound. Stratton, Klauser, Hoyt, Robb, and Canoyer on the floor for the Raiders as Watson brings it up for the Bombers. Still 6-2 after a pair of missed free throws. Oh, what a pass to Hobson from Duncan. A great no-look bounce pass, and Hobson gets the bucket, his first 2. And it's 6-4. Robb with it. He's going to go to Klauser, over to Stratton, back up to Klauser. No surprise, man defense here for the Bombers. Both teams have 2 subs in the game. 3 starters remain in, have not sat down at the 2:20 mark here of the first quarter. Raiders lead 6-4. Hoyt guarded by Jeter. Hoyt's going to beat Jeter to the rim, and they're going to call Jeter for the foul. 3-3. The official looked at both of them 3 times because he knew it was 3-3 and thought he was wrong. JT Jeter is going to pick up his first, team's fourth. Couple subs, Bakke coming in, back in I should be. Canoyer takes a seat. Also coming in, back in is number 12, Lavery, as Hoyt takes a seat. No, not Hoyt. Stratton takes a seat, excuse me. No foul shots. Inbound underneath their own basket. The foul was on the floor. Hoyt goes to Rob. Had a great interview on Wednesday night with WIU men's basketball coach Rob Jeter. That's JT's dad. That's on TSSR Weekly. And a foul and a bucket. Aiden Klauser is going to get the foul in the harm, or the basket in the harm. Duncan picks up the foul. His first, team's fifth. Aiden Klauser is going to be shooting the old-fashioned three-point play here. It's 8-4, pending the free throw, which is good. Make it 9-4. Connor Watson, the only player, well, Duncan's still in. Watson and Duncan, the only two Bombers not to have taken a seat yet. Hoyt, the only Raider to not have taken a seat yet. As we work to the end of the first quarter, Watson pumps fakes. Step back three, it's off, no good. Hobson with the rebound. His fadeaway is no good, but Bakke is going to pick up the foul. The foul is on Josh Bakke, his first, team's first. Jake Hobson shooting 2 free throws for the Bombers. He's already got 2 points on the night on a great pass from Jack Duncan to score the team's 4th point. He scores the 5th point as well on a free throw. Jackson Stratton and Alex Canoyer checking back in for the Raiders. 1:18 to go here in the first quarter. 9-5. Hobson's second free throw is good as well. He's got 4. 9-6. Canoyer trying to get it down. Jeter's going to knock it away from Lavery. Watson's going to go right to the hoop. Dumps it out to Kerr. Kerr for 3, top of the key. It's off, no good. Watson with the rebound. A long rebound, bounced out. Jack Duncan with it now as he backs things back out. Coach Anderson calls the play. Watson on the dribble. Team trailing by 3. Watson for 3. It's a Sports Corner 3 for Connor Watson. What a great crossover and stop for Watson. And the Bombers have knotted it at 9. Canoyer now to the corner to Lavery. A Sports Corner 3 for Watson as the Bomber defense tries to kick things up. Stratton goes to the rack against Kerr. Misses the first shot. Gets his own rebound. Klauser gets the second rebound. And Aiden Klauser gets the bucket. And the Raiders have the lead back 11-9. And a kick by Klauser with 7.6 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Bombers will still have the basketball. Coach Anderson and Coach Anderson and Connor Watson have to change places. Not a whole lot of room in front of the bench there. Watson with 5 seconds left. Going to find some room to run. It's kicked. Now they're going to call a foul. It's going to be on Jackson Stratton, his first, team second. .4 seconds. An inbound play coming for the Bombers here underneath their own basket. Duncan going to loft up the 3. It's off the rim, no good, and that's how quarter number 1 is going to come to an end. The Bombers trail the Raiders 11-9, and one that was as good as anybody could expect. We'll take a break as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to the pits in Quincy, Illinois. It's at Quincy Notre Dame High School. This game being brought to you by Tom Conklin State Farm, face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm, Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. And the Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street, Macomb, serving soup, salad, sandwiches, homemade dessert, Blue Bunny ice cream, and full-service coffee bar. Breakfast served all day, and they have free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairymacomb.com. Call 837-6700. Nolan Kerr gets the bucket for the Bombers as we open the second quarter with a bucket for Macomb. It's tied 11-11. Shot on the way by Knoyer's off, no good. Watson gets the rebound. Scoreboard says 11-9, but it is 11-11. They have not put up the points for the second quarter yet. Langdon Allen, who's back in the game, has it. He gives it to Duncan. Right side, Watson. Watson on the dribble. Boy, they're counting a long ways away. Down to Duncan on a pick and roll, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Jack Duncan. John Burton, thanks for joining us. Lynn Dunk, welcome back. Good to see you back. Duncan second, team sixth. And the scoreboard went off. Scoreboards have went off. We'll see what they're going to do here. Clock is up on top of the, as it's trying to kick back on, but the clock is going to be on top of the basket. There it comes back. Coach Cannell trying to come check out what was going on, but they got it back in time. 6:50 remaining. Once again, live chat's open. Hop in there. Let's get the live chat going. Knoyer's going to drive on Case, and Case is going to pick up the foul, his second, team seventh. Knoyer's going to shoot 2 free throws. And he is 0 for 2 from the free throw line thus far. Alex Knoyer, no points, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. 6:40 remaining here in quarter number 2. Made that one. He's got one. Second one's off, no good. Langdon Allen with the rebound. 6:35 to go. BT went up way up in the air to get that one. Keith Yex, thanks for joining us, watching in Carthage. Appreciate it. Tyler Cummings. Yeah, some questionable calls both ways, in all honesty. Langdon Allen goes in, and they're going to call a block and count it! And a foul for Langdon Allen. The Bombers take the lead for the first time since 2-0. Chris Dewar is in the house down underneath the basket. Langdon Allen gets the bucket. Foul was on Charlie Lavery. Langdon Allen gets his first 2. The old-fashioned three-point play is good. And the Bombers lead by 2, 14-12. Team foul number 3. Stratton is fouled by Allen that time. Well, Allen's going to pick up his second. Team's 8th. Jackson Stratton shooting a couple for the Raiders. He's got 2 points, both from the free throw line here. A chance to tie it up with 6:06 to go in the first half. Stratton's first one is in and out, no good. Steven Stuffelbeam checking in for the first time tonight, replacing BT as he takes a seat. Tyler Cummins, it's good to see you in the chat. Jackson Stratton's second free throw coming here. And he missed that one as well. JT Jeter gets the rebound. He outlets it to Connor Watson. Connor Watson taking some time here. Steven Stuffelbeam with it on the right wing. He goes to JT Jeter. JT Jeter puts up the shot, but he's going to draw the foul on Jake Hoyt, I do believe. It is on Jake Hoyt, his first, team's 4th. And JT Jeter is going to be shooting 2 free throws for the Bombers. JT's first one is good. As I was saying earlier, I got to talk to both J.D. Gravina and Rob Jeter on our TSSR weekly broadcast. Go back and watch that, volume 7. His second one is good as well. Jeter's got 2 points. Great interviews with the WIU head basketball coaches, J.D. Gravina, the head coach, and Rob Jeter, the head coach for the men. Canoyer with it, guarded by Hobson. Hobson laying somebody. Oh, what a move. Canoyer is going to get called for the hook. It was quick. He did hook him a little bit. That was right underneath us here where we're recording. And Canoyer is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his first, team's 5th. Nobody with more than 1 for the Raiders as they go back to their 1-2-2 zone press here as they look to press trap just across half court. Jeter over to Watson. Watson looks at the long three, doesn't take it. He's going to drive, dumps it to Hobson. Hobson's bucket is good. Jake Hobson gets the bucket. He's got 6 here in the first half. Canoyer with it. He gives it to Hoyt. A lot of traffic and beating and banging in the middle of the lane there. The official takes a whistle out of the mouth, has a little conversation right there. Canoyer now is going to drive, and a block's going to be called, I think, on JT Jeter. It's Jeter's second, team's 9th. 1 in bonus coming for Alex Canoyer, who is 1 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. Aiden Klauser checking in for the Raiders. BT checking back in for the Bombers. Nolan Kerr's going to say, you go down on the post. I'll come out here and get the shooter. Canoyer makes the first, so he'll get the bonus. (18-13) unofficially. Second free throw off, no good. Steven Stuffelbeam with the rebound. This is 18. Connor Watson for 3. It's long, and it hits the clock at the top of the back, actually about a foot above the backboard. And it's going to be possession to the Raiders. Quincy Notre Dame wants a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout charged to the Raiders. We'll take one as well. And we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, as Arnold Brothers is bringing Bomber basketball from the pit here on TSSR.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Welcome back to the pit. This game being brought to you by Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling since 1960 has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. And Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb, on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, and Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. 5-point lead for the Bombers. 3 on the way by Hoyt, off no good. Bombers were down several points here and have come back in dominant fashion late in the first quarter and into the second quarter to lead by 5. Hobson to BT down in the corner to Nolan Kerr. Kerr's going to drive. His shot's up and in. Counted, and a foul, Nolan Kerr. Aiden Klauser picks up his first, team's 6th. Free throw off, no good for Kerr. It's 20-13. Klauser with it down low. 3 on the way by Lavery. It's off, no good. Stratton gets the rebound. He puts it back up. He tries to fight his way through Hobson. Leaning in, making contact. The official didn't bail him out, and he didn't even get close to the shot as it hit the bottom of the rim. And it'll be Bombers back the other way. Langdon Allen with it. Up top, Connor Watson, pump fake, step back 3. Off the right, no good. Ball's tipped around, picked up off the floor by Canoyer. He brings it back for the Raiders. Picked up by Allen. Allen, a little hesitation dribble there to Klauser. Blocked from behind by Langdon Allen. And a foul's going to be called on the Raiders. That's a 1 and bonus situation. Klauser is going to pick up his second. Team 7th. Jack Duncan is going to be shooting 2 free throws, or 1 and bonus, for the Bombers. Bombers in the bonus the rest of the way, as are the Raiders, as a matter of fact. Duncan's 1-and-1 attempt with 3:06 remaining is off, no good. Canoyer with the rebound. Hoyt sets up the offense. Stratton. Bombers playing a little zone defense here. You don't see that a lot out of Macomb, but it's a 3-2 zone for the Bombers. Stratton's going to break through it. It's going to be tipped around and tipped out. Hoyt's going to come up with it. He's going to save it. Nope, he's going to be over and back. The Bombers would have just as well had that be a no call, because Watson would have had a wide open layup, but JT Jeter checking back in for the Bombers with 2:34 remaining. Make sure you watch KHQA tonight, as Chris Dewar, as I mentioned earlier, is in the house. JT Jeter, right side to Duncan. Up top to Watson. Kerr. Watson on the dribble still. Gives it to Duncan. 2:10 remaining as the clock is running here in quarter number 2. Nolan Kerr going to drive. Puts up the shot. It's up and in for Nolan Kerr. He's got 6. Oh, what a look by Bakke down to Stratton. Stratton gets his 4th point. First not from the free throw line. It's 22-15. Jeter with it. Oh, he goes to Hobson. Hobson somehow caught that. I don't know how he turned his head at the last second. and caught it. And Jake Hobson has 8 in the first half. Down to Canoyer, and he makes the shot as he found his way through the Bomber defense. Alex Canoyer has 4 points. Kerr's going to drive again. He puts it up and in. Nolan Kerr. Give him 8. Who needs Connor Watson to score? The Bombers. We've talked about it. Who's going to score if Connor Watson doesn't? Hobson and Nolan Kerr says, we'll try. Hoyt has it tipped away out of bounds by Duncan. It'll be Raiders basketball, as it looks like they're going to go back to man-man here, as they were burnt a little bit by Canoyer on the last possession. Into Canoyer. Canoyer's going to drive on Duncan, who got beat trying to get the steal on the inbound pass, and Canoyer is going to get his 6th point. Left side, Nolan Kerr. Picked up by Stratton. Right side, 3 on the way by Watson as he fell down. Referee didn't think there was enough contact to call a foul. Stratton's going to drive. He leans in. His shot's off, no good. Bakke with the rebound and the putback. Bakke gets the bucket, and it's 26-21. The Bombers led by 11 a second ago. 7 seconds left. JT, 3 on the way by Watson is off, no good. A baseball pass, look out, bands. And it's going to be the end of the first half of play. 26-21 at the half. The Bombers lead the Raiders. We'll take a quick break, come back with some stats here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back. Some stats here for the first half. Leading the way for the Bombers, 8 points for Nolan Kerr and 8 points for Jake Hobson. 2 points for Ian Case, 3 points for Connor Watson, 2 points for JT Jeter, 3 points for Langdon Allen. Jack Duncan is 0 of 1 from the free throw line. For the Raiders, 6 points for Alex Canoyer, 5 points for Aiden Klauser, 4 points for Jackson Stratton, 4 points for Josh Bakke, and 2 points for Jake Hoyt. That's all the scoring. 3 Bombers, make that 4 Bombers have 2 fouls. That would be Ian Case, JT Jeter, Langdon Allen, and Jack Duncan. Jake Hobson also has 1 foul. For the Raiders, they finished with 7 fouls in the first half, but only had 1 player with 2, and that's Aiden Klauser. He got the last 2 of the half. Jackson Stratton, Jake Hoyt, Charlie Lavery, Josh Bakke, and Alex Canoyer each have 1 foul apiece. The Bombers will get the the Raiders will get the basketball to open the second half, I do believe. We'll take a break and let you hear a word from MDH here at the half.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students. MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their clinical experience and their opportunities here, and then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but everywhere. Right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not, correct? I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably,
yes.
But the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you, right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. All of our current positions are listed on our MDH website. www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Art Purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back to the pit at Quincy Notre Dame High School, as we are just about the end of halftime here, and the Bombers heading into the third quarter up by 5. They were up by 11 at one point there towards the end of the quarter, and then a 6-0 run for the Raiders, and it'll be Raiders basketball. This game being brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. Athletic trainers and MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations at Bushnell and Macomb provide expert help to Bomber student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital care. And here we go, third quarter action underway, and the Raiders with the basketball. 26-21. Canoyer gives it corner. Hoyt for 3. Nailed it. The first 3 of the game, I believe, for the Raiders. And it cuts it to a 2-point lead. Ian Case, fadeaway, 13 feet off left. Didn't get rim. It did get backboard. And a chance to tie or take the lead for the Raiders here. Stratton with it. Up top to Hoyt. Hoyt right side to Lavery. Canoyer. Hoyt again. Hoyt on the dribble. Pull up free throw line jumper. Off no good. Rebound to Bakke. Bakke's hook is off no good. Duncan with the rebound. Connor Watson brings it back up with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Duncan's going to get it out. Watson pump fake 3. He's going to drive, puts up the shot. It's hard off the glass, tipped out by Case to Kerr. Now to Watson. Hill off the 3, right wing. Way short. Ian Case went to get it. He fell down and threw it back in. It went right to Hoyt. And another chance to tie or take the lead. Lavery down to Bakke, and Bakke gets the easy bucket because Case was slow to get up off the floor down at the offensive end, and we're knotted at 26. Duncan to Watson, 6:15 remaining. I know the clock's on the scoreboard tonight, folks, but Ian Case is going to run right over Lavery. Good call. Ian Case should have probably stopped and popped, and a 30-second timeout going to be called by the Bombers. It's their first timeout of the game. And a chance to take the lead coming up for the Raiders after the foul by Ian Case, called for the charge. His first, team's first of the second half. Game being brought to you tonight here at the pit by Western Illinois University. At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there is limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out. Also, Midwest Ice. Do you need ice for your upcoming event? Look no further. Midwest Ice has you covered. Midwest Ice is Central Illinois' newest ice delivery service. We deliver ice directly to your event. Call Blaine Wrench at 309-351-8192 for a quote today. And a 5-0 run to open the third quarter for the Raiders. A chance to take the lead if they can build on it here. Knoyer goes right side to Hoyt. Hoyt down to Bakke. Bakke is off no good. Gets his own rebound. And they're going to call Case because Case was jumping. Bakke was lowering his shoulder, but Case kept moving, and Case is going to have his fourth foul. Bakke was probably drawing to contact, but Case refused to stop moving, and Hobson's going to check in. And they're going to call it on the floor, though, amazingly enough. That's 4 fouls on Ian Case. Knoyer, delivery into the corner to Hoyt. Hoyt's going to drive. The switch got to mess up, but Kerr's going to get the rebound as Hoyt couldn't finish on a reverse layup. Watson over to Duncan. Duncan's going to drive. The finger roll is short. He had to stop short to keep from running over Stratton, and that made the ball come up a little short as well. Stratton with it now, right side. He looks down to Bakke, and Bakke finally tracks it down clear at the sideline. That was nearly to the lane when it hit him on the hands in the first time. Lavery with it, left side now. Up top, Knoyer. Knoyer. Oh, and Hobson gets beat backdoor by Bakke as he came over to help. Josh Bakke's got 8 in the game now. And the Raiders back to the lead. Langdon Allen to Kerr. Kerr's shot is blocked by Knoyer. Bakke with the rebound. Bounce pass to, boy, that looked like a travel to Stratton. It's knocked out of bounds by the Bombers. JT Jeter going to come in for Jack Duncan. Aiden Klauser back in for the Raiders. Hoyt gets it into Lavery. Knoyer back to Lavery. Hoyt with it left side now. Up top, Knoyer at the 10-foot line on the dribble against Duncan. Now Hoyt. Ball movement good for the Raiders here. Taking their time, 4:30 remaining. Knoyer now is going to drive on Duncan. Leans in, shots up and in. Knoyer's got 8 now on the game. And it's a 4-point lead. A 9-0 run to open the second half. Langdon Allen for 3 off, no good. Halfway point of the quarter. The Bombers have yet to score. Stratton goes to the rack. He puts the shot up again off the bottom, and it's going to be out of bounds off Stratton. Bakke checks back in, replacing Lavery as they go for a little bit bigger lineup again against a smaller Bomber lineup. As the Bombers have Connor Watson, Nolan Kerr, Langdon Allen, JT Jeter, and Jack Duncan on the floor currently. Langdon Allen, Kerr, he's going to drive, stop, finger floater is good. And the first 2 points of the quarter come to Nolan Kerr at about the 3:40 mark. He's got 10 to lead all scorers for the Bombers. Jack Duncan, a good steal. Here comes Langdon Allen back the other way. His finger roll is up and in. Langdon Allen has 5. And the Bombers close the lead to 0. It's a tie ball game as the Raiders had opened up a 4-0 lead, or 4-point lead, and the Bombers go on a 4-0 run. Finally, after having not scored for the first 4 minutes and 20 seconds of the quarter, but they've scored 2 back-to-back to tie it at 30. Klauser with it. Underneath, I think they're going to call Connor Watson, who somehow got switched on to Knoyer, and Watson's going to pick up the foul, his first, team's third. Still no fouls called on the Raiders. Not a whole lot of fouls called in this one. Bakke loses the ball out of bounds. He got his hands on it but turned his head too quick. Didn't pull it in, and it's a possession changer as the Bombers have the basketball now. with 2:56 remaining in the third quarter. Down to Duncan. Duncan gives it to Kerr. Kerr pump fakes. Gives it to Watson, 10-foot line. Looked at the three, didn't take it. JT Jeter with it now. Right wing. JT Jeter goes to the rack. His layup is good. The speed you see on the football field showcased there as that quick first step with the basketball got Jeter a wide open layup. And it's 32-30. Bombers back on top by 2. Down low, Klauser. He misses the shot, gets his own rebound, puts it up again, misses it again. Duncan tips it around. Hoyt comes up with it, though, for the Raiders. Stratton's going to drive on Jeter, try to spin move. It's blocked by Jeter. Jeter gets it back. Watson now looks down to Langdon Allen. He's going to pull up three. No good. Langdon Allen thought it was good. It falls short. Klauser outlet to Canoyer. Canoyer is, oh my goodness, they call a block on Watson. And Watson was there all day long. He might have thrown a hip at him, though. That's the second on Watson. Fourth on the Bombers. Canoyer going to shoot 2 free throws. He's 2 for 6 on the night. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bombers lead by 2. First one is good. Canoyer's second coming. This is his 8th free throw of the night. He hits that one. He's 4 for 8. He's got 10 points. Knotted at 32. Kerr with it. Comes across to Watson. Watson pump fakes to Allen and gives it to Allen. BT skips it across to Duncan. Duncan is going to be fouled by Canoyer as Duncan did a good job. He saw Canoyer out of position, had the baseline. Canoyer had to try to cut it off, and he couldn't get there in time. Canoyer picks up his second, team's first. Lavery, Canoyer, Baki, Hoyt, and Klauser on the floor for the Raiders. Watson, Duncan, Langdon Allen, Kerr, and Jeter on the floor for the Bombers. 1:35 remaining. Bombers and Raiders tied at 32 here in the third quarter. And Watson's going to get bailed out there. I think that's Canoyer again. That's his third, team's second. And that was a bit of a bailout right there, folks. No doubt about that one. Jackson Stratton going to check in. Canoyer's going to check out with 3 fouls. He's the only player with 3 for the... Oh, JT Jeter on the inbound, and he's got the bucket. He's got 4. Make it 6. Baki gets the bucket for the Raiders. Give him 10, and we're knotted at 34. Langdon Allen trapped in the corner is going to try to get it across to Watson. Stratton's there. Klauser is going to go to the basket, and he's going to be fouled by 13. Langdon Allen. BT is going to pick up the foul. His third, fourth team. Aiden Klauser is going to be shooting 2. He's 1 for 1 from the free throw line tonight. He's got 5 points. Chance to take the lead for the Raiders. He hits the first. Raiders will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Scratch that. That's only 5 fouls. Klauser's second is good as well. He's got 7. Jeter across to Watson, back to Jeter. 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 2-point lead for the Raiders. To Watson, out to Duncan. Duncan's going to put up the shot. It rattles around and falls through. Jack Duncan ties the score. That's his first 2 of the night. 22 seconds remaining. Down to Baki. Baki shots up and in. He's got 12. Steven Stuffelbeam to Jeter, to Watson. 5 seconds remaining. Watson going to drive, puts up the runner. It's off, no good. Bakke with the rebound, and that's how the quarter ends. Raiders lead at 38-36 at the end of the third quarter. We'll take a break. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling bringing Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
And welcome back, as we've got cheerleaders doing backflips, and a young cheerleader in a cheerleading outfit did backflips all the way down the floor. She was doing them so far that she could barely move by the time she was done. I wish I'd have counted how many she did. But we're going to the fourth quarter here. 5 team fouls for the Bombers. 2 team fouls for the Raiders. Raiders lead 38-36. Bombers have the basketball. Kerr had an open look at a 3. The Raiders are in a zone now, a 2-3 zone for the Raiders. Duncan down to Case, out to Watson. Skips it across to Langdon Allen using his wide receiver skills there. Ian Case now. Back to Langdon Allen. Up top to Nolan Kerr, left side. And now it's a man as they've switched back into the man here. It's a switching man, though. And now Langdon Allen's wide open, but they didn't find him. They tried to get it to Kerr instead, and Stratton gets the steal. Langdon Allen would have been wide open at the top of the key, but they threw it across the paint, and it gets taken away. Lavery into Bakke. Bakke against Case, who's got, oh, come on. Are you kidding me? All the stuff you let go, and you're calling that? Man. Ian Case fouls out. I mean, I don't know that it hurts the Bombers a whole lot outside of the fact that it's a bucket and a harm. But, man, that was almost no contact. And, you know, folks, I have no care in the world how you call a game, but Bakke misses the free throw. It's going to go off of Kerr out of bounds to the Raiders. But if you're going to let them play, let them play. Don't suddenly call a touch foul underneath the hoop, because they've been pounding on each other all night. I hope that isn't how the fourth quarter is going to be called the whole way, both ways, because that'll completely change how this game's looked so far. It's been a great one thus far. The Raiders up by 4, a chance to build on it here as Bakke has it. Hobson guarding him. Stratton's going to drive. Langdon Allen's there, but Stratton's going to get the bucket to fall. He's got 6. They did let him play there. Skips it down to Duncan to get it across. It's a 6-point lead for the Raiders. Connor Watson with it for the Bombers. Nolan Kerr. Duncan, top of the key. Watson for 3. Long, but Hobson's there, and Knoyer just whacked him in the arm. It's going to be a jump ball. Raiders get the ball. See, it's a play like that makes me not understand how Ian Case fouled out on that 5th foul of his. It's exactly what I'm talking about, as he had the position, and I'm sure there was contact, but Bakke down to Knoyer. And Duncan's going to be called for the foul. That should be on the floor, though. Duncan picks up his third, team 7th. Timeout on the floor, charged to the Bombers. It's a 30-second timeout. It's the Bombers' second timeout of the half and of the game. This game being brought to you by Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief weekly edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive the Monday and Wednesday editions by PDF downloaded from their website for subscribers. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, and, of course, Macomb. Tyler Cummins, I don't know. I mean, it's been pretty fair, I feel like, as in no calls both ways, except for the Bombers play a more physical style of defense, so they're going to have more fouls than the Raiders in general, I think. But if you're going to let them play, like I said, that foul by Ian Case was, I don't know, it's like he had a target on his back every time he came in the game, to be honest with you. Knoyer shooting a 1 in bonus. And some players just have nights like that. It's like they see it early and they can't get out of the ref's vision. And the first one is good. He'll get the bonus for Knoyer. He was 2 of 6 in the first half, but he's 3 for 3 here in the second half for the Raiders. That one's off, no good. Hobson gets the rebound. Hobson back to Watson. 5:43, and Watson, you can hear him chanting air ball from the other side in the student section as Watson having an uncharacteristically bad night from the field shooting. Duncan, top of the free throw line, or top of the key. Watson, he'll try another one. He's a shooter. That one's off the front of the rim, and Hoyt gets the rebound. Hoyt, right side delivery. Bakke now. Back to Hoyt. No hurry for the Raiders. Oh, what a play by JT Jeter, using his defensive back skills to get around and knock that one out of bounds. Langdon Allen's going to take a seat. Nolan Kerr checks back in with 5:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Hoyt inbounding to Stratton, and that's a travel. Yes, it was. That pass, inbound pass, was so far down the line that Stratton wasn't going to the line. He wanted to stop short, but the pass took him to the line, and he had to lean out so far he couldn't stop before he traveled. It was a good call and unfortunate for the Raiders, as now Watson's pass is taken away by Stratton. Stratton's going to go. The layup's off, no good, but Knoyer's there for the putback. JT Jeter to Connor Watson. Duncan to Watson again. 4:35. The Bombers trail by 9. They have to get something going here. And Hoyt wipes it away from Jeter as Jeter kept the ball in front of him and just took his eyes off the defender for a split second. Very quick hands by Hoyt. And it's a steal, and the Raiders have a chance to open it to a double-digit lead here. Bakke now back to Knoyer from Lavery, now to Hoyt. Or no, that's Stratton, excuse me. Stratton to Knoyer, right side. There's Hoyt. Looked at the three, didn't take it. 4 minutes remaining, halfway through quarter number 4. Bakke. Knoyer. He goes right to the rack. Can't finish, though, and he should have. Duncan with the rebound for the Bombers, and then Watson now with it. Watson left wing. Going to go to Duncan, top of the key. Kerr now. Kerr's had the hot hand tonight. Duncan now out to Jeter, up to Watson. Watson's going to drive, backs it back out, 3:30. Good defense by the Raiders. Watson to Duncan. Duncan back to Watson. Over to Nolan Kerr. He pump fakes, drives, pull-up jumper, 10-foot. Good for Nolan Kerr. Bombers finally get the bucket at the 3:12 mark. Nolan Kerr broke both droughts to start both quarters here in the second half. The Bombers came back to take a lead in the third quarter. Can they do it again? They trailed by 2 at the end of the third quarter, but they led late. Bakke with it. He gives it to Hoyt. Hoyt guarded by Jeter. And Hobson's going to get the foul there, I think. Kind of came and gave him a hip check. He didn't mean to. He couldn't get there in time. Hobson's going to pick up his second. Team foul number 8. Hobson takes a seat. Langdon Allen checks back in, and the Bombers back to the small lineup they had at one point earlier in the game. Hoyt's shooting the free throws for the, it's off, no good. He missed the front end of the one and bonus. Bombers trailing by 7. Langdon Allen to Duncan. Duncan's going to drive now. He pulls up high off the glass. A Country Financial Bank shot for Jack Duncan. He's got 4. And it's down to a 5-point game. Hoyt drives, counted, and a foul. I think it might be on JT Jeter. It is on JT Jeter. That's the third on JT Jeter. Team's 10th. 2 coming for Hoyt here for the, oh, it was a 1 and bonus. I guess it was the 9th. Oh, it was, he made the bucket. That's the reason why. Sorry about that, folks. Watson's going to drive. He goes to the rack. His layup's up and in. Connor Watson gets just his 5th point of the night, his first bucket of the second half. Hoyt nearly drew a foul from Jeter as he stopped in front of him as he was chasing him. Knoyer's going to drive, and he's going to get called for the travel. Turnover, a chance for the Bombers to make it a one-possession game with 1:53 remaining. Timeout on the floor, charged to the Raiders. It's a full timeout. Raiders have 3 timeouts remaining. The Bombers have 3 timeouts remaining. Game being brought to you by M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. Tom Conklin State Farm, face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm, Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. And Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar, is Sports Corner at 124. With a focus on local sports, catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. And the Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street in Macomb, serving soup, salad, sandwiches, homemade dessert, Blue Bunny ice cream, and a full-service coffee bar. Breakfast is served all day. That's the Old Dairy in Macomb. So Connor Watson now with 1:40 remaining on the clock. Gives it to Duncan, back to Watson. Watson looks at the three, doesn't take. He's going to drive. What? Oh, he tried to get a pass to Jeter. It was kicked, no call. And they'll back it back out with 1:30 remaining. 90 seconds remaining in this one. The Bombers trail by 5. Langdon Allen, Nolan Kerr. Kerr with it on the left wing. He's going to try and drive on Stratton. Dumps it out. Watson for 3. Short. Jeter saves it in. Kerr's there. On the floor they go. Jump ball possession. And they're going to be a timeout called by the Raiders. It's a 30-second timeout. What I was trying to say is the jump ball will go to the Bombers if they could have got it tied up. They could not. And Watson struggling from the field tonight. Game being brought to you by Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. And thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center as best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experienced and dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best in 2017, 2018, 2019, and again in 2020. 3 convenient locations to serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. So a little full court press coming for the Bombers, but no effect there for the Raiders as Hoyt gets it across with 1:02 remaining. Make it 1 minute remaining, and Lavery has it up by 5. No reason to shoot here, and Hoyt, Canoyer, and Langdon Allen's going to pick up the foul, and Canoyer got a shoulder, and Canoyer didn't want any help from Drew Watson as Drew Watson tried to help him up. Canoyer wanted no part of it. Langdon Allen with the foul, his 4th. Double bonus coming for Canoyer. He is 3 of 4 in the second half. First one is good. This is a pretty big one here, getting up 3 possessions if he can hit this free throw. It's 48-42, and he does. "15 points for Canoyer. 43 seconds. It's a 7-point game, and the Bombers not showing a whole lot of urgency. 3 on the way. Off, no good. Duncan with the rebound. He puts it back up. Langdon Allen has it taken away by Clouser. Lavery gets through the defense, and Langdon Allen takes one in the chops as they made contact, and Lavery has a look at Langdon Allen, and that'll be 5 on Langdon Allen as he's already went to the bench and sat down. 2 free throws coming for Lavery as this one's getting a little rough down the stretch. 27 seconds left. It's pretty much all over, I think, at this point, as Braden Holdhouse is going to come in for Langdon Allen. It's all over essentially except for the score, except for what the score is going to be, I think. The Bombers would have to make a huge comeback, down by 7 currently, and Lavery shooting 2 free throws. The first one's off, no good. He has not scored tonight. It's his first free throw attempt as well. Bombers have to have 3 possessions and not let the Raiders score in those 3 possessions in 27 seconds. Second one is good. He's got 1 point. 50-42. Nolan Kerr for 3. Nope, it's a 2. It was a 2. His toe was on the line. That's a good call. I looked down and saw it. Nolan Kerr is going to get his 14th point. That was a good call. That was only a 2. They'll take a point off the scoreboard. Yeah, that was a 2. That's an absolutely correct call. That's a full timeout for the Bombers. They have 2 fulls remaining. The Raiders have a full and a 30 remaining. I say it's probably mostly over, and it very well could be. 17.3 seconds left. The Bombers need to get a steal here on an inbound almost. But there's a lot of excitement to be had here, even if the Bombers can't come back, as it's been getting chippier and chippier as we go along here. We'll see if things heat up any more than they already have between these two teams. These two schools this season, no love lost between them at all. The volleyball team for the Bombers came here and beat QND at the pit, and then the entire student section and the team took a picture at the logo at the nets, and that was not very well received. The Bombers then returned the favor and beat the QND Raiders in the opening round of the playoffs, Class 4A, and then QND came back and beat the Bombers in pretty convincing fashion, although it was 3, and that looked like a travel. That's a good call. Yes, it was. That was a very good call. I didn't think they were going to call it, but that gives life back to the Bombers. And another timeout. It's a full timeout. The Bombers will have one timeout remaining. But anyway, QND came back in a very convincing third game in the sectional final to beat the Lady Bombers volleyball team to get some redemption there. But this one has been close and heated throughout. There's one timeout remaining for the Bombers. 50-44, 15.4 seconds remain here in the fourth quarter. So obviously a 3 is necessary here, and then another steal, it would be the hope if you're the Bombers. A single free throw makes this even more difficult. Still as big of a two-possession game as you can get right now. The Bombers almost have to have a 3. Nolan Kerr has been the hot hand. His 2 just moments ago was just barely a 2. It was a toe on the line kind of shot. And the Bombers could have used that point right now. If he'd have been a half-inch farther back, it would have been a 3. And Stratton is on Kerr. They put their best defender on Kerr. And Kerr's going to go across, try to get the ball inbound. He can't do it. Watson, 10-foot line. Got to get it up in a hurry. And they're going to foul. The ball went in, but they call the foul on the floors. They've got a lot of fouls to give. That's only the third. Foul was on Hoyt, his second. So they could probably foul this game away, in all honesty. I didn't even look at that. Watson lost, pump fake. 3 on the way for Connor Watson. It's off, no good. Baki gets the rebound. And that'll pretty much seal it. Baki will walk down and shoot 2 free throws. Two student sections here, one white student section at the far end, one camouflage student section at the near end, close to the Bomber student section for the Raiders. Botke to shoot 2 free throws with 8.3 seconds remaining. First one is good. He's got 15. Botke hits the second as well. He's got 16. Watson, pull up 3, short. Holdhouse can't get to it. It's out of bounds. And 3.5 seconds remain. Stratton will run out the clock, and that'll do it. 52-44. The Raiders get the win over the Macomb High Bombers, as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has brought Bombers Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll take a break and be back in a couple minutes with some stats, and then we'll wait for Coach Anderson to come talk to us here on TSSR Game Time live from the pit in Quincy, Illinois, at Quincy Notre Dame High School. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told them about the staff of MDH. You know, they're all good. You will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts, repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back to the pit at Quincy Notre Dame High School. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling bringing Bombers Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Look at the scoring for tonight's contest. The Bombers were led by 14 points for Nolan Kerr, 8 points for Jake Hobson, all in the first half, 7 points for Langdon Allen, 6 points for JT Jeter, 5 points for Connor Watson, 2 points for Ian Case, 4 points for Jack Duncan. Ian Case and Langdon Allen both fouled out for the Bombers. For the Raiders of Quincy Notre Dame High School, 16 points for a game high for Josh Bakke. Alex Canoyer finished with 15 points. 7 points for Jake Hoyt, 7 points for Aiden Klauser, 6 points for Jackson Stratton, 1 point for Charlie Lavery. Free throws were a pretty big part of the game tonight. Canoyer shot 12 free throws. He was 6 of 12 in the game. I think that's 7 of 12 in the game. The Bakke was 2 for 2. Lavery was 1 for 2. Klauser was 3 for 3. Hoyt was 0 for 2. And Stratton was 2 for 4. They shot 25 free throws as a team. Made 15. 15 of 25 from the free throw line. The Bombers, in contrast, did not shoot a single free throw in the second half. Shot 7 in the game. Made 5. 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Not a single one in the second half. And they lose 52-44. And all 10 of those points, or 8 of those points, came from the free throw line for QND as they outshot the Bombers 15 of 25 to 5 of 7. So the Bombers' percentage was better, just didn't get there enough in this one, as the Bombers drop a 52-44 game to the Raiders of Quincy Notre Dame High School. We'll take another break, and we'll be back waiting on Coach Anderson to come talk to us hopefully in just a little bit here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Art Purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
Welcome back to the pit at Quincy Notre Dame High School, 52-44 the final. Coach Jeremy Anderson under the headset with us now. Or actually, he's got his own, I guess, technically. But, Coach, a fun game to watch. Obviously, you guys came out on the wrong end of a fun game to watch, but your kids came to a really tough place to play and never really gave up.
I thought our effort was outstanding. I thought our expectations were high for our own abilities. We respected our opponent. We came out with a ton of high energy. We competed. Sometimes the ball don't go through the hoop the way you need it to. I thought we missed some buckets that would have been key in keeping us right there with them. And I give Q&D a lot of credit because they started to go down inside more in the second half, and that really hurt us.
Yeah, having Ian getting in foul trouble, and then the fifth one, I won't ask you about that. I didn't know about that fifth one, but I said some people on our chat were talking about there was more fouls for you guys, or the refs seemed like one side. You guys kind of play a different physicality, I think, than the Raiders do. I think more times than not, you're going to get more fouls against them.
I'm never going to say we don't foul.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, I mean, you guys tend to be more physical, I think, than the Raiders do.
We have done a better job in other games of being physical within the rules of the game. Tonight, we have to be able to adjust to the way the game is being called.
Right.
And I think Q&D is just as physical, especially when you're trying to handle the ball. My only complaint would be the discrepancy thereof. A foul in one area of the floor should be a foul in another area of the floor. But I'm not saying we lost this game because of calls. I'm saying we lost this game because Q&D did a better job of executing, getting the ball down inside in the second half, where we were forced to take a lot of jump shots that missed.
Yeah, I know you and I have talked on numerous occasions. Where's the offense come from if Connor Watson isn't scoring? Nolan Kerr looked like he could be a scorer tonight.
Nolan did a great job. Defensively, he's our guy. We put on the other team's best penetrator. He takes that job very seriously and very proud of it. And now his offensive game is really starting to rise. I've been very, very proud of him. And his responsibility offensively can keep going up and up. What we have to do a little bit better job of is trusting each other, and so we can keep the ball moving, getting the ball inside, playing from the inside out, and then get Connor his looks when he's open, get Ian involved somehow offensively. And I think that we have some things that we wanted to do to get Ian more involved that we haven't had a chance to do those yet. I think he would have made a huge difference in this game, obviously in the interior of the defense. But I give Jack Duncan a lot of credit. He works his tail off. He's outsized in there, but he uses his body, and he competed. He competed the whole time. I know he might have came out for a little bit, but I mean, he competed. And having JT Jeter back is so nice to put another athlete out there defensively. Langdon Allen's been outstanding.
I was going to say he played well tonight.
Both ends of the floor, really. He's taken a lot more responsibility defensively, and he's really been proud of that also. And I'm really happy with where we are. We talked about it before the game. I said this is a chance for us to test ourselves, right? Obviously, the first game of the season didn't go the way we wanted it to, but we bounced back with 5 in a row, and so now it's test time again. And I thought we didn't win the game tonight, but I would give us a B+, A- on the test, right? Because we competed with a good team on their floor. and we just came up a little short.
Jake Hobson played his best half of basketball in the first half. Not that he played bad in the second half, but he played a great basketball game tonight,
Yes,
especially in the first half.
Yeah, and I got a little frustrated with him a couple times defensively, and so if I would go back and do that again, I'd probably use him a little bit more in the second half because maybe he could have helped us down on the interior. But I give QND a lot of credit. They kind of read who we were playing and what lineup we had in there, and then kind of organized their offense to take it to us where we were the smallest, let's say. And so they do a good job. They're a well-coached team, and we have some athletes, good ball players. So
you guys probably played with, at least as far as I can remember, your smallest lineup.
Oh, ever so far.
You know, with JT and Langdon and Connor.
We had Steve and Connor and Nolan and Langdon and Jack out there at one time.
That's right. Yeah. So
which are all great kids and they're all going to compete. We're just small.
And against somebody like Baki and Canoyer, that's
so
tough to deal with both of those guys.
If you look down the road and you got JT, Ian, maybe Dion. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't happen, but I give our kids a lot of credit, man. They worked their tails off tonight, did everything we asked them to do. Just came up a little short.
And this is a game that I think a team that you got beat tonight, but it's not a team that you couldn't beat.
Oh,
maybe
we
50%
talked about
of the
that.
times,
We talked
right?
about that downstairs.
Yeah.
It's December 3rd. You know, if this matchup would happen, February 22nd or 23rd, you can play with them.
Right, and that's what matters, right? And
That's
right
exactly
now,
right.
that's what matters.
That's exactly
and this is probably a good test, though, for you guys as you're at least thinking about getting ready for the holiday tournament and then the conference, right? So this is a good test for that too, right?
Oh yeah, and we have some more coming up. We got Farmington Tuesday night, Kewanee next Saturday, Mercer County the following Monday, Peoria Christian down the road. I mean, we got some. Well, we go to the Abington Shootout, play Scales Mound in there also. So we got some ones that are really going to test us, that's exactly what you want to do, though.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you want to do.
Well, Coach, it's
in this sport, everybody's already in the playoffs.
Right.
Right. I don't have to have a certain number of wins on my resume
to get in.
Everybody's already in. So you better test yourself before you get there. So.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Well, Coach, thanks for coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I think Ethan Ladd came to – I didn't know if you even knew I was up here or not.
Well, somebody told me, hey, you better get up there. I said, all right, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I didn't need you to hurry necessarily, but I didn't know if you were here or not, or if you knew I was here or not. Up here in the corner, and it was loud in here. There wasn't no way you were going to hear me tonight. It was loud in here tonight.
Yeah, they couldn't hear me. So. Good game, good fun game. That's what it's all about, right? So
I appreciate you coming up and walking up the stairs.
Thank you. See you later. See you next time.
We'll see you Tuesday. Coach Jeremy Anderson talking to us on the postgame show. That'll do it from the pit. Quincy Notre Dame beats the Bombers 52-44. For Haley Roth, who has been so kind to run the camera for me tonight, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for joining us here from the pit. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling's brought Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll see you Tuesday night.